is presentation portfolio assessment for ALS elementary and junior high school program completers of school year 2019, 2020, and previous years. Okay? So out of this memorandum, we also issued a division memorandum number 183, series of 2021. And we are scheduled supposedly this afternoon since there is an advisory half day rata today. So thank you so much for understanding Ato Nigi held this morning. Okay? So the contents of this memorandum, number one, this has reference to the advisory issued by the Office of Assistant Secretary for ALS dated October 6, 2020 regarding the administration of computer-based accreditation and equivalency test. Okay? There was a move sa Tagabeya and from the ALS Office of the Assistant Secretary for ALS nga nag-design unta sila og computer-based test in lieu of the paper and pencil test para sa mga 2019 and 2020 completers. But number two, please be informed that per the Bureau of Education Assessment or the BEA, the administration of the computer-based A&E test for school year 2019 and 2020 for ALS completers will not be possible until April 2021 due to the restrictions imposed by the government in view of the COVID-19 pandemic. So, dili gihapon posible even sa online test since the plan was i-convene ang mga completers in one setting or in a computer laboratories just like sa mga districts medyo lisod paghihapon as of this time, especially increasing ang mga numbers in sa mga COVID cases. Okay? So in lieu of the administration of the aforesaid test, the Department of Education through the Curriculum and Instruction Division and the ALS Task Force announces that the result of the portfolio assessment reflected in attachment number 2 for ALS elementary and junior high school program completers of school year 2019 and 2020 and including the previous years in the LIS shall be used as basis for the issuance of elementary diploma and junior high school level certificate of program completion. So for the record, this is first time in the history of ALS nga wala yoy nahitabo nga national uh, test or assessment for the ALS completers. This is the first time nga gigamit na to ang ilahang presentation portfolio since mao na gyud ni pinaka last resort as basis for the issuance of diploma for the elementary level since they will be considered as graduate and for the junior high school level a certificate of program completion being a completer. But only those who will meet the minimum required points are eligible to receive such diploma or certificate. So dili po basta-basta nga naay portfolio automatic issuehan dayon og diploma or certificate. They will undergo a process pod. And the issuance of diploma and certificate shall be until the last week of June 2021. So that's why nihabol ta aning orientation because we are planning to conduct an inter-district final validation this month of April para mahabol gyud nato ang division wide ma-address na nato tanan. Okay. So for number 4, ALS elementary and junior high school program completers of school year 2019 and 2020 and previous years under the old ALS curriculum who underwent additional learning intervention and wish to seek equivalency certification, they shall update their portfolio based on the ALS K-12 basic education curriculum since we already adopted and implemented the new curriculum for ALS last June of 2019. Okay? To ensure the validity and credibility of the assessment of the presentation portfolio assessment, the ALS completers are allowed to submit their presentation portfolio only once. For those completers who will receive below the minimum required points, they shall undergo additional learning interventions in preparation for the future AE and E test. So dili gyud nato pugson nga isyuhan sila og diploma, balik sila sa ALS para mo undergo og additional nga learning intervention. Okay? The regional and division ALS focal person shall conduct a reorientation on inter-district validation of portfolio. Okay? So this is what we are doing right now. So the modality for the conduct of the said activity shall depend on the quarantine protocol level set by the IATF. So that's why online na to ni kay medyo di pagyud na to makaya ang face-to-face sa to. A revalidation with program completers shall be conducted to ensure that the presentation portfolios are original outputs yun, no? Dili na siya copy-paste nga mga outputs or nor mga photocopied outputs of the completers. And there is attachment number 3 for the conduct of the revalidation. Later, issue na to pod ang mga attachments, ang mga forms. And priority shall be given to all completers who are provisionally enrolled in grade 7 and grades 11. Kay that is our main concern yun as of this time. Kay until we all know nga naa na gyud ang formal school mura og nana ni enter ni na og third quarter. So we need to save ang ilahang enrollment pod. Okay? So the following are the step-by-step process of the portfolio assessment for provisionally enrolled ALS completers. Okay? So first step, for letter A, ALS teacher shall conduct an initial assessment of the presentation portfolio of their learners. So yesterday we did an orientation to all ALS teachers, and they are pretty much aware on how on the conduct of this initial assessment of presentation portfolio. So that's the first step. Next, the EPS2 for us, kaming lima nga mga EPS2 or Education Program Specialist 2 for ALS with the assistance of the mobile teachers and the district ALS coordinators shall conduct the inter-district final validation using the attached guidelines. Okay, so we, the EPS2 for ALS shall prepare all the necessary materials, especially the list for the list of qualified provisionally enrolled ALS completers for Revalida. It will be reflected in attachment number 4, including the submitted portfolio of the said completers. And next step, the current teachers or the formal school teachers, kamo nga atong mga partner of provisionally enrolled ALS completers shall conduct the revalida with the assistance of the EPS2 for ALS, the assigned mobile teacher, and the district ALS coordinator. So we will work hand in hand in this undertaking or this activity. The formal school teacher shall be the one to ask the questions for the revalida of the portfolio presentation. So we will be giving you attachment number 3 as a guide to in conducting the revalida. Then the EPS2 for us with the assistance of the mobile teacher and DALSI, while ang formal school teacher nag-conduct sa revalida using the guide questions, we, the EPS, the mobile teacher, and the DALSI shall counter-check the answers of ALS completer with his presentation portfolio. And to illustrate the process, it is shown in this diagram. So again, first step, as teacher will conduct an initial assessment. Next, the EPS2 will prepare the list of provisionally enrolled as completers for Revalida and the submitted portfolios. Then, the third step, the formal school teacher shall conduct the Revalida with the assistance of the X2 for so we hope to conduct this activity sa through face to face kay medyo malisod na gyud kayo ni og i-online pa gyud nato no, pero following the protocol set by the LGUs. Okay, school heads of the public secondary schools with provisionally enrolled as completers in grades 7 and 11, they are instructed to use 50% of the result of the presentation portfolio assessment and another 50% of the learner's performance in the first and the second quarters of school year 2020 and 21 as basis of updating their status of the learner in the LIS as permanently enrolled or officially enrolled. So who are qualified? Who only those learners who will get an overall grade of 75. So 50 from portfolio and 50 from the average quarter grade sa formal. So mo na atong i-combine, and only those who will get an overall grade of 75% and above are eligible for conversion of their status from provisionally enrolled to officially enrolled in the LIS. Then later, um, my colleague will explain to you how to do the computation in finding the average quarter grade of the learner. So further, school heads are also instructed to accept school year 2019 and 2020 as program completers who passed the presentation portfolio assessment and are interested to enroll for school year 2021 under provisional status. So naagihapon naka-stipulate sa memo nga we are also instructed to still accept those who are interested to enroll for school year 2021 and 2022. Okay? So if you have some questions, clarifications, or queries, please reserve it right after the presentation of all necessary topics. We will be having an open forum. Okay. Meanwhile, let's continue in discussing on how to compute the final grade of ALS completers who are provisionally enrolled. Friends, ladies, and gentlemen, please help me welcome Education Program Specialist 2 for ALS. In Cluster 5, let's all give virtual applause to Ma'am Elsa F. Ingpit.
Thank you so much, Sir Neil, sa among kinagwapuhan. Way mo palag kay siya ra may lalaki sa among tanan. So, si Jara Joy kinagwapuhan. Okay, my topic this morning. Hello, everyone. Napabata? Napabata ka po ya?
Apa,
I
ma'am?
am tasked
Hello.
to... Hello, good morning. Sani? Is to explain on how are we obtain the final grade of our ALS complete years who are provisionally enrolled. So I hope you can follow. There are 3 steps on how are you going to obtain or find the final grade of our learners. So number 1, this is for the formal score, I think, because this is the Q1 and Q2. So you may follow the legend here below, the LPE, which is the learner's portfolio assessment value, the P1, which is P sub 1, portfolio assessment obtained score. So the P2, which is the portfolio assessment obtained score. Then the AQG, average quarter grade. Then the Q1, which is first quarter grade, and Q2, which is the second quarter grade. This is for the formal school, the Q1 and Q2. Then the P1 and P2, this is for the ALS implementer. So number one, how are we going to find the value of AQG? So you have the Q1 plus Q2 divided by 2 equals, so that would be the grade of your learners from your quarter 1 to quarter 2. Dili na Q2 o Q1 o Q2 equals losa ha? That is Q2. No, sorry. Mo dyan niya magpa-joke-joke ba kay gila kay I know gila ay natang tanag pinaminaw. So next step is the LPE. LPA I mean. So this is that is not the low pressure area ha? That is learners portfolio assessment value. So you're going to have the P1 over your P2 times 100. So this is the possible score of our portfolio is 38. So if your learner gets have the score of 36, I mean 30, I cannot say clearly the, sorry, divided by the possible score times 100, so you have 79. Do you follow? Then lastly, the final grade. So your final grade would be LPE plus your AQG times 50. So 50% from your LPE and 50% for your AQG. So you have 81. Pero di magtarong, 50-50 equals hospital. Sorry, that is only a joke. So you add the grade from the formal, which is coming from your quarter 1 grade and quarter 2, which is your AQG, then the grade of your portfolio from the ALS, P1 and P2, that will be added. So that will be the final score of our learners. So is it clear? Do you follow? So you can have this question if you don't understand, but I don't think that you don't understand because I know that the formal school teachers are more intelligent than the other. Di po sa ALS kay magsubagay unja mahitabo. Pero kay Bauko, taga-formal, they are intelligent enough to compute the grade of our learners. Thank you so much, formal school, for admitting our learners in your school, especially to the principals and supervisors. Shout out ko sa taga Mabini, wa man ko kay Bawog kinsay, niyan taga Mabini. Kinsa lang diha. Okay. Sir, you may do the honor. The next is the illustration, illustrated process, and how are we going to, Sir Neil, you may do the honor, sir. Umit na natong age katunang dili na na-appeal ng not enrolled, did not enrolled. So we have here the illustration or the process and how are we going to have the grades or the after having the grades of our learners. Pero wa kapasar ninyo, sorry na lang, wala jud sila inani. So we have the APS 2 for us. Now number 1, they will have to prepare the master list of the school year 2019-2020 ALS elementary and junior high school program completers and the diploma for the ALS elementary graduate and certificate of program completions for ALS and junior high school completers. The number 2, the EPS issued the diploma and certificate of program completion upon approval of the SDS. Next is the ALS division focal person. Verify the master list of school year 2019-2020 ALS elementary and junior high school program completers and corresponding diploma and certificate. Number 2 is submit the duly signed master list of ALS elementary and junior high school completers to the ALS regional focal person for consolidation, filing, and reference. The CID chief is to endorse the master list of the school year 2019-2020 ALS elementary and junior high school program completers and the corresponding diploma and certificate. So the SDS is the one who approved the master list of the school year 2019-2020 ALS elementary and junior high school program completers and then sign the diploma and certificate. So it is clearly stated that our SDS will sign the diploma on the our completers. So we have here the division ALS focal person shall submit the duly signed master list of ALS elementary and junior high school completers to their ALS regional focal person for consolidation, filing, and for our reference. Now, for clarification or inquiry, contact the ALS task force. So we have the number 0286 36 3603 or through the email at alstaskforce@deped.gov.ph. So that ends my task this morning. Good morning once again. I hope that everyone listens. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Elsa Hingpit, for discussing with us the how imputing the grades of our provisionally enrolled ALS learners, both from in public and private schools. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, our division ALS focal person has just finished her topic in other webinar. So we're so glad to have here. She's one of the most admired PSDSS in Bohol Division, the most approachable, most knowledgeable, well-rounded, and very motherly, bisan dili pa siya tantong mother. Dr. Evelyn H. Codilla, Division ALS Coordinator of Bohol Division. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Jean Satorinas. Mura man pud og akuhan anon ta sa daghang mga giingon ba. Pero thank you so much for that very kind introduction. Good morning to each and everyone. Keep the
Good morning,
most
ma'am.
to
Morning, ma'am.
manage, yes,
Good
our
morning,
management
ma'am.
team.
Good morning,
Yes, good
ma'am.
morning. Good morning. And keep the most to our management team here at the division office, our five EPSAs, our five very approachable and competent EPSAs. We have Ma'am Jean Saturinas again, Sir Neil Habuhab, Ma'am Elsa Hingpit, Ma'am Joy, Ma'am Jolia, Ma'am Julia Macas, and Ma'am Helen Rocamora. To one and all, to our participants this morning, all the teachers in the public and private schools with provisionally enrolled as completers. Once again, maayong buntag sa tanan.
Maayong buntag, ma'am.
Ayong buntag,
We are
ma'am.
Mayong
pleased.
buntag,
Maayong
ma'am.
buntag, maayong buntag. We are pleased to see you all. We are many in this room, very much eager and excited to learn what are the things needs to be oriented by us, the public schools and the private schools teachers nga naatay mga learners nga naa sa atong mga kamot. Indeed, uh, having these learners in our hands, of course, not easy, but then with our commitment and uh, our open hearts of dealing with these learners, it is but a kind of a kanang ay work that is kanang more than a teacher. It's more on a also with vocation nga mag-handle ta og mga learners nga ingon ana no. So today with the inputs coming from our facilitators, we are expecting you of course to be oriented on the things, the guidelines on how to assess our ALS learners, both elementary and junior high school program completers, that of 2019 and 2020 and the previous years. So as teachers, we need to have the updates and also ang more gyud tano kana jong atong passion bitaw working with this kind of learners. Kay sometimes we are setting our standards nga dili ma-meet sa ato nga mga learners. We need to understand where they come from, where who they are, and the status of their, I think, being a person nga unsay kana bang atong ingnon bitaw nga kanang ilang mga pinagdaanan. So we need also to understand them so that we can meet halfway, and our purpose, our goal, our objective of this orientation will be met in the end. So we are now in March. So expect schedules of the assessment of the portfolios of our learners. So enjoy the rest of the day, since today is Wednesday and it is only a half day working day. So you enjoy the Lenten season, the days, the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, so that you will be also the stresses in life will be released. So to our dear teachers, I have seen on screen we have hi to Sir Romeo of Valencia. Murag maklaro gid ka nako mi
Hi,
ba?
ma'am. Hi, ma'am. Good morning.
Yes, ang uban murag tungod sa kagwapo na maklaro kay medyo hanap-hanap ang uban. So to one and all, maayong buntag pag-usab and enjoy the rest of the hours. Thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you very much, Dr. Evelyn H. Codilla. Salamat good ma'am. Kaayo sa imong presence. Despite sa kabisi sa imong schedule, you still managed to be with us this morning. Once again, thank you and God bless you more, Ma'am Evelyn. Okay, so naapabatatanan. So according to Ma'am
Dili pagyapon
Evelyn,
ma'am.
it's good to be working harder, but
Dungog
it's good to be working smarter. So work smarter, murag
sila ga
aron dili ta
open and sila
ma-stress.
yung katulog tama ni inos mo signal.
Murag na nag-open sa iyahang video, no? Murag aligre yun na itong buhaton. Although it's not new anymore to us ang virtual meetings, na usahay, no? Murag di ta aware or unaware ta nga lahala naon ang ato ang mic and then madungog ang tanan. Okay, so moving on. I am tasked to be discussing with you the guidelines on presentation portfolio assessment for ALS elementary and junior high school completers of school year 2019 to 2020 and previous years. So I know these guidelines these guidelines are more applicable to our ALS implementers, but I think uh, everybody must also know and must be made aware of these guidelines para dili ta ma-alienated kaayo. Okay, so our screen is still freezing, so hold on. I hope nga ang mga computations atong nakuha, but if not, pud kaayo because of the connectivity, we can have time to clarify things during our open forum. Okay, guidelines. So what to know, what are the things that we should bear in mind aron nata uniformity of understanding with regards to this portfolio assessment. Okay. It's echoing. Nag-echo, sir. Hello, Sir Marlon.
Yes, ma'am. Nangita pa ko sa kuan, ma'am. Kinsa rong gaon, ma'am. Murag naakaw pa ni mo na, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
We have Ma'am Ermelinda. Nakakita kong Ma'am Ermelinda.
Kita na mabilin.
Okay, murag dili pa makita nato no ang ato ang guidelines sa screen.
Wa pa makit ma'am.
Wa pa ang manok ang hintubag. Wow. We have Ma'am Belinda Albutra, Sir Moses Botihin, Melinda Grosciento, Ma'am Mirasol de la Peña. Wa ko'y classmate sa ato ang virtual room, no? Okay, we're so glad once again to see you virtually this morning. And then, among gi-wish, gi-hope nga napud tay napo. Though, murag struggling usahay ato ang connection or connectivity. But we just hope that somehow we have imparted something informative this morning. Wala pa gyud. Hold on. Hello, Sir Marlon. Ma'am Zinaida, Ma'am Dioscora Mission. Who is sharing the screen? Okay. I have Ma'am Janet Rosales. Good morning. We have Ma'am Merlin. Ato sang ipanghinganlan ang mga mag-on og camera. We have Sir Moses Butihin. Ma'am Mirasol de la Peña. Thank you for sustaining. We have
Ma'am Jean,
Ma'am
nag-video
Janet
imo, Ma'am Jean.
Rosales. Sir?
Nag-video imong ipa-play.
Memo, sir, memo. Joint memo kadto continuation with Sir Neil and Ma'am Elsa's topic, sir.
Joint memorandum.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, sige ko pangitarong gaon nag-mic.
Okay, so murag di na lang siguro na to i-screen share na, sir. Ato na lang i-discuss.
Na
So
ako, ma'am.
let's just na, sir. Makaya? Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
Nakita, ma'am? Ma'am Jean.
Yes, sir. Makita na, sir.
Sugod sinugdanan to, ma'am.
Attachment number 1 na ta, sir. Page 7.
Okay. Page 7. This one, ma'am?
Okay. Okay, yes, sir. So there we go. Guidelines on presentation portfolio. Portfolio assessment for ALS elementary and junior high school completers of school year 2019-20. Sorry. Okay, so we are now in the guidelines. So I